Hey, awesomes. Welcome back. I got cut off there in the video, and I was just coming up here and I'd hit growth. And we were talking about that I had gone from 7,700 and some odd sources to 2,620. And so I was just getting ready to explain we want peer reviewed um, journals right there. We can probably go in and maybe do a little bit more, but I selected peer reviewed journals here. So I'm going to hit apply filter and see if that narrows it down any. Talking very specifically, but oh wow, we went to 742. So we're getting a little. Yeah, so we see how we've gone from 7,000, now we're down to 700. So we lost 90% of sources we don't necessarily have to go through. And of course, there are other ways we could use some other filters up here. We want to make sure megachurch, and then we can do capitalized and growth, and we'll apply these filters here and see if that changes anything. Sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases, and every single time that we switch our search terms up here, we need to go back down here, and we're going to hit peer-reviewed journals again, and we're going to hit apply filter. See what kind of number we come up with, right? To help us out. Okay, same 742. Okay, so the megachurch and growth didn't change anything to make sure, because we want to make sure that we're getting both of those terms in. So then, if we want to narrow down from that, we want to see what it is about growth that, at least for me, perhaps a model of this one here, subsidizing religious participation through groups, specifically a model of the megachurch strategy. Okay, so maybe we're talking about specific strategies. We can one thing that we may have to do too, as we get narrowed down, sometimes we get under 1,000 a lot of times. We may need to click on one of these articles and we'll read the abstract. Abstracts are a good way to kind of get an idea of how they're talking about it, how scholars here specifically. Because remember, we've got filters on here now where we just have peer-reviewed journals, right? We've excluded books even at this point, and we're just kind of looking through those scholarly articles that have been peer-reviewed, at least that have something to do with megachurch and growth. All right, so now we're talking about appealing sermons. There's a case study, so it may have something to do with sermons. We talked about strategies already. We could just keep narrowing it down just a little bit to see how they're talking about megachurch and growth. So the one that stands out to me is since they're talking about strategies, is I could click on this article and see what it pulls up, see if it'll pull up and get us close to, so it says it's available online. Here we can view online. Full text availability is right here at JSTOR, which is a good source that we have through the our Oakland Library database system. JSTOR is kind of a housing, publishing house, if you will. It makes you sign in. That will collects and looks at a host of scholarly articles that have been published that are in the public domain, at least for us to look at, that part of our tuition pays for. So it's going to pull it up. Here's JSTOR. So the article is my slow internet connection notwithstanding. So it's coming up. I want to check my time because I'm probably getting close to the end here. But as it pulls up, we'll hit OK on that. It's going to bring up the article, and the first thing we want to do is we'll look at the abstract right down here. And that'll give us an idea to think about, is strategy a term? Is there some other way? Maybe congregate. We talked about congregations, these types of things, and helps us continue to kind of narrow down and follow and find our scholarly sources. If we find also, real quick, to say this one is talking very specifically about what I want to talk about, the next best thing to do then is to go look at their sources, right? Look at their works cited page, look at their bibliography, right? And then you can start to hone in on when or where and how they're talking about your topic. All right, hope you found this helpful. As always, stay safe, stay awesome. Bye.